Please join me in welcoming Mary Beth West to Nazareth College again.
Thank you to President Braveman, and it is truly an honor to be here. A few lessons for somebody who sat right where you're sitting, felt what you're feeling, and probably dreamt what you're dreaming. So I grew up on High Tree Lane in Chilai, about 20 miles west of here. I'm the youngest of 5 children, and my mom, Margaret, who's here today, was a homemaker and today's vernacular stay-at-home mom. And my dad, Daniel, a World War II veteran who retired from Eastman Kodak after working there for 29 years as an electrical engineer. I grew up watching my father get up every day with a smile on his face, eager to go to work and come home at the end of the day, again with that smile. It never occurred to me that I would grow up to do any different. And it was during my years here at Nazareth that I formed this love affair with the world of marketing. I was a junior. I did a marketing research internship at a company that made pneumatic transmitters. But my challenge was to diagnose a flaw that was causing a quality issue. So while it was hard to get excited about the transmitters, I found that I love to solve problems. And if pneumatic transmitters can become interesting, trust me, anything can. So as Malcolm Gladwell says, success follows doing what you want to do. There is no other way to be successful. So for my first lesson to all of you is to find your passion. It's the best way to ensure that you will truly be successful. Do what you love, and you'll never work a day in your life. Okay, but once you found the passion, then what? It requires you to find an organization in whatever your chosen field where the values mirror your own. Second, you need to know yourself better than anyone. And you need to create a set of principles that you're willing to live and act by, and from which I believe you must not compromise. And finally, it requires unwavering support and love from family and friends who aren't afraid to tell you when you've strayed. But there's another important thing that you can do to improve your odds of success, something completely within your control, something you decide every day with every encounter, even a rainy graduation. Your attitude. Attitude is a choice. You make it every day. I've interviewed so many candidates over the years at Kraft, and I will tell you, I would choose a technically competent candidate with real passion and enthusiasm over a technically superior candidate with an ambivalent attitude every time. Why? Because enthusiasm is contagious. So my second lesson, best captured in the words of a wise rabbi, watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, they become your actions. Watch your actions, they become your habits. Watch your habits, they become your character. And watch your character, for it will become your destiny. Which brings me now to my third lesson, a lesson in perspective. I learned this lesson best a few years back from a friend of mine, Marcia, who at the time was suffering from breast cancer. I sat in my car in the parking lot of a Target store, and Marcia told me 3 things. Always wear your seatbelt, always buy great shoes, and when you're no longer having fun, it's time to move on. It was our final conversation, and she died a week later. I always try to keep her words in my mind. And yes, I always wear my seatbelt, even in the back seat of a cab. And frankly, I think she would just love these shoes. Noted author Anna Quinlan says, I show up, I listen, I try to laugh, and I guess I would add, I try to make a difference. Whether it's your future job or life itself, graduates, it's just that simple. I remind the folks at Kraft almost every day about this. It's not that what we do isn't important, but you got to keep it in perspective. We're selling macaroni and cheese. We're not solving world hunger. Not yet. And if you take yourself too seriously, you stop having fun, and if you stop having fun, it becomes work. Take your work seriously, but not yourself. Kraft Foods isn't who I am. It's what I do. I'm a wife, a mother, a friend, a sister, and a daughter, and I hope all of you feel that same way. It's family, friends, and loved ones that truly matter the most. So keep a sense of humor about it. It will help keep the tough times in perspective. And if all else fails, buy a great pair of shoes. Because I can assure you of one thing, tough times will come. Personally, professionally, in some way you will stumble. We all do. If it hasn't happened already, it will. It's how you handle the failure and what you do with it that'll make the difference. Tennis great John McEnroe says, "The important thing is to learn a lesson every time you lose. Handle your failures with grace. Don't let other people define success or failure for you. Define it for yourself. Real failure comes in making the same mistakes over and over again." If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. It's not so much the sentiment behind these words as it is the source. This is the motto of the Off the Street Club. It's the oldest boys and girls club on the west side of Chicago. And it's a haven of hope and security for some of Chicago's highest risk kids. There's a young lady there whom my husband, Hyrie, and I know very well. And for the purposes of our conversation today, I'll call her Raven. A number of years ago, Raven was visiting a Kraft executive at her home in Winnetka, Illinois, which is kind of like Pittsburgh, but I think the trees are bigger. So as you can imagine, as she went into the bedroom of that executive's daughter, she stood there in complete awe. Now, of course, you would think it was all the toys or the beautiful bedding or the stuffed animals, but instead her reaction was one of survival. She asked, "Aren't you afraid of having your bed next to the window? At my house, we sleep in the middle of the room, on the floor, so we don't get shot." A few months back, a colleague of mine asked me if I was driven by a higher purpose. I keep 3 pictures in my office. One is of my wedding day. One is of my 3 beautiful children. And one is of Raven. Raven is that higher purpose, giving her and other children like her an opportunity to have a better life is my higher purpose. And over the past decade, my husband, Hyrie, and I have spent much of our energy and our resources trying to make a difference for the kids at the club. And what we have received in return has been immeasurable. You, too, have that responsibility. One I know from the statistics of community involvement here that you all already take very seriously. But as you move along your journey, I challenge each of you to reach back and pull someone else up behind you. We'll be watching. So as I close, I want to say something to the parents in the audience. Congratulations. You've obviously done something very right. And today you will hug your graduating sons and daughters tight. And you should. But tomorrow, and the next day, and the day after, you must loosen your grip. Let them find their own way. Help them discover what they're passionate about. Let them bring a positive attitude to all that they do, and help them keep perspective and encourage them to reach back. They've got such a solid foundation, and they've got your love, the support of the Nazareth community, and their hopes, dreams, and ambitions to propel them forward. And to the faculty and staff, how do you do it? Year after year, you give the world a class of top-notch, talented men and women with unmatched integrity and a heart of service. We all owe you a tremendous thank you. And finally, to the graduates, congratulations, good luck. We can't wait to see what you'll do. Thank you.